We're here with Elon Tusk, Alfa Romeo driver and P4 man in the championship. Elon, how are you doing?
Doing good. Really excited for the last race.
Obviously, we do have that final race of the championship, round 12 coming up. But I want to take a look back to some of your more recent results because recently, I think you mentioned it yourself in the Discord, you've been getting quite a lot of P8s. So there's some
Yep.
consistency there. There's been some bad luck as well. How much higher up the order do you think you could have finished without said bad luck?
Um, it depends on which race. Like in Great Britain at Silverstone, I I think I could have gotten a podium, maybe. It, it's hard to tell, but I was on the same strategy as Sipos on the mediums, and that seemed to work really well for him. But I had to pit on lap one for hards and then fight back through. So I finished fifth. Um, I think I finished eighth in Austria. Don't really. I think I could have finished maybe seventh without the spin at the end with Ruben. Belgium was a mess. I managed to finish eighth by doing the entire race on one set of inters.
Wait, did you
And
not
last
pit?
well, I pitted on lap one again because
Okay.
of damage. But yeah, then I just decided to stay out to the end to see where I could finish. I managed to finish B8. And last time out in Brazil, Brazil was a mess because I woke up late. The races are at 3 p.m. for me, but now I work nights, so I got home at 6, went to bed, and I was planning on waking up at like 1 to warm up, but I ended up waking up during Q1, and
Ooh.
so I started last, and because I was customizing the strategy before the race, I got caught out, and I didn't have time to load a setup, so I was on default setup on the hards, starting last, and in the end managed to finish P8. But yeah, I
It,
think
It reminds
probably
me of
expected so.
a driver that I used to race against in a league where he would finish P6 in every single race, bar none, and it just
Yeah,
continued for such a long time. So hopefully you'll be able to break that trend in a good way.
yeah,
Come the next race. So in the championship right now, you are P4. Now Owen is 40 points behind you, so
mm,
he would need to win the next race to beat you. And no offense to Owen, unlikely to happen. Um, but you've got Sipos and Maverick, and they are, well, 9 and 12 points ahead of you, respectively.
yeah.
Do you think you can take them?
Sipos, no, just like a straight no. I mean, unless he doesn't show up in the last race, maybe. But Maverick, it depends. I think overall he has more pace than me, but he has been making mistakes at times. So I've managed to beat him a couple times, like in Canada. Um, can't remember the other. I think I've beat him twice or 3 times. But uh, but yeah, Maverick. It will depend on if he has a bad race or not. I don't think I can really challenge the top three in race pace or in quality. I'm quality has been hard. It's definitely been the weaker part of my season. I always qualify in P6, 7, 8, but then I come back through during the race. So
Uh,
yeah, we'll
and
see.
I also want to mention, I mean, you're in Alfa Romeo, which, in terms of esports anyway, is the best team. And without a doubt, one of the two best teams. You know,
Yeah,
Alfa Romeo, Jan Otmir, Danny Burton, best team out there. Second, maybe McLaren, James Baldwin, and I think it's Matthias Colligan, if I reckon that correctly. However, the reason I bring
mhm,
this up is because Alfa Romeo are fourth in the championship. And right behind you guys, and, you know, I mean right behind you, like 0 point difference, is the Red Bulls, I should say, of Ruben and Lowenkirk. And then a further
yeah.
6 points behind is the AlphaTauri of Owen AK and Aries. I Do you think you can hold them behind you?
Um, Red Bull. It's kind of the same thing as with Maverick and Sipos. It'll depend on how Ruben's race. goes, because low and Kurt, like in a clean race without incidents, I think I'm usually a little bit quicker. But Ruben is part of that top pack now. Like way back at the season opener, there was only Iceman and Maverick really, and that were on equal pace at the front, and then there were two or three other guys, and then me in the midfield. But over the course of the season, now there's like it's basically like real life. There's like the top six that's just locked for for
Who's the
Ruben,
Alex
Maverick.
Albon in this top six?
Yeah, so I don't know. Like AlphaTauri, I don't think they'll overtake us unless I DNF, but I haven't DNF once this season, so I I think I'll stay in fifth, but I don't think I'll be ahead of the Red Bulls by the time the checkered flag falls.
No, I'm gonna bring this up because in our most recent stream, and I think the stream before that, there's always been someone popping up in the chat and saying about how they're such a good driver, no one can match them, and that's your teammate Connor Sheridan. He's languishing down in 15th place in the championship. Do you have any words of encouragement, or maybe words of wisdom, or maybe you just want to just slag him off? Tell him to get his act together, because I feel like you're going to need his help to keep. I mean, you're a one-man army right now, and you have to keep two Red Bulls behind you. So, what do you say to Connor?
Well, Connor, I don't know. It's been an odd season for him. Like he hasn't been there at every race. I haven't kept track of how many races he's done, but I'd say probably about half. So right off the bat, like there's only one car racing.
Yeah.
And usually, like it's not a dig at Connor in any way, but he's usually at the back with.
I'm so glad I brought up this question.
Like it's like I think in D1 in Division 1, he'd probably be great and he'd have a lot more fun. But I don't know if it's because he doesn't really practice enough or he doesn't have time. I don't know, but yeah, it's.
Would a good use of Connor be accidentally outbraking himself and just maybe hitting one of the Red Bulls? Maybe.
I mean, I don't condone taking out your rivals, but if it's a racing incident, you didn't need to.
Then we take it. Obviously, we're not encouraging Connor to take anyone out, but if that happens now, Jacob and myself are going to be having an absolute field day in the commentary box. That is.
Oh, I bet.
For sure. Okay, final thing I want to bring up is you've had one podium so far this year, and it was at your best result, which was Bahrain, your only podium.
Yeah. It was Australia, actually.
Oh.
It was the season opener.
Was
my
it?
very first league race. But to be fair, it was complete luck, that podium.
I blame Sam, because he sent me a graphic and it said wins 0, podiums 1, best result P2 Bahrain. So
no, let me get save my results.
Elon's going to check this one up for us. Sam, you better be worried right now, because
yeah, in Bahrain I finished 6th. So yeah, it was Australia. I qualified 9th, and I think I was like round 1 seems such a long time ago now, but if I remember correctly, most people were on a 1-stop. I figured I might as well try the 2-stop, because I could see that the top guys were much faster than me. So I think there was a safety car towards the end, like 10-ish laps.
Gotta love a safety car.
Yeah, I was coming out of the pits on softs as the safety car came out, and at the restart I think I was 7th or something like that. And all I remember is going down towards turn 1 and Kenner's just taking out 3 guys into turn 1. And I just went through. I was in 3rd. And
Connor, take notes.
To keep it to the end. So yeah. It wasn't on merit, that podium. It was complete luck. I was 7th. probably should have finished 7th or 8th, and I got lucky. But yeah, after that, my goal for the season has been to get another podium, but this time on merit, on track, and without any crashes or anything like that. And I finished P3 in Zandvoort and in Canada, but I had, I think, one extra penalties. And the first time Kenners stole the podium from me, and in Canada it was Chegwin.
Okay. So it's always the racing points that are doing you
Yeah,
dirty.
it's been a good season with the racing, fighting with the racing points.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Elon, and best of luck to the season finale in Abu Dhabi.
Thank you.